FCC voting to reverse Obama-era rules allowing the government to regulate the internet. Now, critics argue the move is going to drive up costs for consumers, but Mike, a lot of other folks saying getting government into the internet was gumming up the works. The Wall Street Journal says the internet is free again. Should we be happy?
The Wall Street Journal is correct, David. We should be ecstatic that we're getting rid of government regulation on the internet. That we're going to turn it into a utility. This is going to bring innovation back. This is going to bring more consumer choice back. This is exactly what was needed.
Bruce, on the other hand, that sage commentator Jimmy Kimmel doesn't agree with Mike. Let's just play a sound of him.
I just want to say thank you, President Trump. Thanks to you and this jackhole you appointed to run the FCC, big corporations are about to take full control of the internet. So Merry Christmas, everybody.
We already have big companies controlling at least big parts of it. We have Netflix, we have Google, we have Amazon. They're already there.
Well, listen, Jimmy Kimmel and I are both devotees of Howard Stern, so Baba Booey on that one. But I would say, listen, these rules could prevent, this is what some of the smaller players are saying, something special from being created if indeed, you know, some of the creativity of some of these entrepreneurs is stifled by this. If you're giving big companies more power, and also the big companies could start charging for some of these things.
John,
so,
when have government bureaucrats ever allowed entrepreneurs to bring innovation to anything? I mean, the point is, this is getting the FCC regulators out of the internet.
I am going to save Jimmy Kimmel's quote, along with lots of other quotes from witless lefties, for the rest of my life so that I can point out to them on a yearly basis how ridiculous their arguments are. This is about private property, but beyond this, capitalism is all about turning what the few enjoy into something that we all enjoy. Why would the internet somehow be different?
And Rich, the point is that the FCC, a typical government bureaucracy, spent decades regulating the phone companies, regulating television. They tried to regulate the internet, but the reason the internet was so innovative and inventive was because the bureaucrats weren't there.
Well, look, AT&T and Verizon and Comcast have invested in the pipes, and they should be able to charge what they want. And if Google and Amazon and others complain, they are far, far richer than these carriers. They can build their own pipes.
And, Steve, here's a perfect example. There was cellular technology back in the 1940s. AT&T in 1947 wanted to bring out the cell phone. The FCC wouldn't let them because they said it would only be for the rich. We could have had cell phones 40 years ago.
Yeah, well, that's why John Tammany is right. Free markets aren't allowed to operate, always turn scarcity into abundance. And this whole debate, David, boils down to a question that Neil Cavuto was asked last week. Shouldn't you pay more for a big cannoli? Shouldn't you pay more for 2 pizza pies instead of 1? That's the whole thing. Deregulate.
Bill, you got 10 seconds. Go ahead.
Well, there's nothing innovative about the $100 a month I pay for slow internet in a rural area. I really think that we should be regulating monopolistic cable, only where it's a monopoly.
All right, that's the last word. Coming up, more than half of Americans admitting